All right, welcome to episode one of Hoosier Hardwoods Live. I don't know. I can see comments. I want to make sure everything's working okay. If you're watching, I think it says there's 3 people watching. Give me a thumbs up and make sure that my audio and all that stuff is good, and we will roll on with it. We'll get into some discussions on what's going on with Hoosier Hardwoods Outdoors, what the new show is going to be about. Well, not really a new show. The show's been around for a while, but we've kind of stopped and went and stopped and went, and I wanted to get started back up again. Let me see. You got the actual. I have a lot of these. I've got Sam Gipe says thumbs up. Okay, so tonight we've got the decal giveaway. Here's the Hoosier Hardwoods Outdoors decal for Dakota's buck that we had scored yesterday. There were a lot of great guesses. I will say that, a lot of great guesses. We do have one winner, though, that was very, very close. So we will get to that in just a little bit. What the new show is going to be about. So as many of you know, Hoosier Hardwoods Outdoors Live is it's had some name changes. It's had a couple different starts here and there. But so Hoosier Hardwoods Outdoors as a team thing has kind of went away. I've like last year in the 2023 season or 2022 season, myself and Peyton Walker, Derek Walden, we all hunted together, did a little bit of filming, but not as much as we did the previous year. This year, or this new show, is going to cover pretty much a lot of different things. There's going to be different co-hosts on here. We're going to have people streaming in from different areas of the country, just talking about outdoors and hunting. The longer I got to think, I'm going to have probably stuff rolling on the TV behind me. Tonight's just kind of like a kickoff show to kind of get everybody thinking about deer hunting. And, it's September the 11th. First and foremost, we don't want to forget what happened on September 11th. So always remember the first responders and people that sacrificed their lives 22 years ago, which is kind of crazy to think that it's been that long, but we always want to keep them in our hearts and prayers. But so today, September 11th, is the first kickoff. We're going to have a ton of stuff going on and get this stuff going because it's September 11th. We've got 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks until the opener here in the Hoosier State that we're getting pretty excited about it. I know that Jason Van Meter in St. Louis has already put out a post. September 19th, we will be back down at his place doing the Southern Indiana Whitetail Talk episodes. So I'm pretty excited about that. He's going to let me come down and produce that show again. Pretty excited about it. Me, obviously Jason, Darren Ballard, and Cody Fortney. So pretty excited about that. So tonight, I just want to go over some season stuff. I know squirrel season's already in. It came in August 15th. Hopefully everybody's out, spend a little bit of time in the woods. I know that it's kind of like crunch time because you want to get in and get your stuff done, but yet with these cold fronts and stuff like that coming through, a lot of mature bucks are starting to get back to their winter ranges. So I know I've got some final preparation stuff to do this coming weekend. I told the guys I hunt with, I'm like, hey, well, you got to get in there and get out because I usually like to let it set for at least a month before we get in there and start hunting pretty hard. Dove season come in September 1st, which is the first season. There's 3 different seasons for doves, September 1st through October 15th, and there's a 15 bag limit on that. So those 2 seasons are actually geese season come in September 9th through the 17th. But check the website because depending on what kind of birds you harvest depends on bag limits, and I'm not that big or keen on waterfowl, which I need to learn a little bit more, but make sure you check the website for bag limits on those. So if anybody wants to, I know there's 14 people watching. The cool part about this show is going to be the more comments we get, questions, comments, what you're doing in the woods and the outdoors, whatever, they'll show up on my screen, and it will also help keep the conversation going. So don't get me wrong, I don't have any problem talking. Anybody that knows me, I can talk to a wall for an hour, but any comments that you want to throw over here on the screen, we'll just keep talking about. I got some product stuff to go over. I'm not really going to use this show to really promote products. If there's anything that I'm using, I'll obviously help people or whatever, kind of throw it out there. If it's working for me, how I use it, Dakota's going to come on a lot. So maybe, whenever he's on here, he can explain how it helps him or whatever. But one product that I will always endorse, and me and Jason are really, really close. But even before Jason and I became close, Van Meter and Sun Lure products are, if you're looking for a deer scent, cover scent, whatever, the Van Meter and Sun Lures line of products are hands down just the best out there. So make sure you check them out. I'm gonna go ahead and put the website up here on the thing so you can. They do have a brand new website. This website just came out a couple weeks ago. So check out www.vanmeterandsunlures.com and get you some deer scents ordered, because I know he's going to start getting pretty busy. What's going on, Corey Holman? I've not released that yet. Kind of want to get some people in here because I'm not sure everybody that guest is watching just yet. There was one guest was very, very close. So yeah, I'm going to reveal that here in just a little bit, Corey. He is a nice deer, though. I will say that. For the Southern Indiana area, I mean, he's one of those that, when we was talking to Stephen Taylor and Kevin Bateman yesterday when we got him scored over at Campbellsburg, this type of deer here is like very, very common in this area. I mean, you're going to hit pockets of, your 170s, your 180s. You'll hit pockets. I know he's harvested some absolute studs. You're going to hit those pockets, but this deer right here is just one of those typical, I'll just go ahead and say it. So the winner of the giveaway is Chris Nice with a guess of 152 3/8. This deer scored gross 152 5/8. It had 7 7/8 deductions, netted out at 144 6/8. So, but this is just an overall, it's an overall nice deer for this area. I mean, got good beam length. I don't really remember the actual. I think it's got like 10-inch G2s. I think it was almost a 17-inch inside spread, 16 and something. So he's just an overall nice deer for this area. And like I said, Kevin and them, they score a lot of deer in this area, and it's a very, very common rack size. So gross was 152 5/8, and Chris Nice had a guess of 152 3/8. So he is the winner of the decal giveaway. Chris, if you're watching this, or I can message you, send me a message on the Hoosier Hardwoods Outdoors page and give me your address, and I will get this decal sent out to you. What trail cameras do I use? I have cell cams, and I use the the Cellucor 20s by Bushnell. I've had really good luck with that one. I didn't really jump on the whole revealed train when they first came out or whatever, but I will say that after looking at some pictures with Jason and just some of my buddies have them, I will probably eventually switch over to reveals. They're well-built cameras. But a lot of the non-cellular cameras I use, I just use Moultries. I've always been a big Moultrie fan when it comes to just regular cell cameras. Darren, it's a very, very nice harvest. Say that one more time. It was 152 5/8, Keaton. I agree, Corey. That is a great deer anywhere you go. It's just a solid, like, when we were talking yesterday, it's just solid, typical frame. It's got a few like abnormal points sticking, but nothing major. It's just a clean deer. Definitely a great deer anywhere you go, for sure. And while we're on the topic, subject of deer season, I do want to give a reduction zone starts September 15th. Reduction zone formerly called urban zones. Make sure you check the DNR website for locations for these urban zones, because I know sometimes a lot of people will post on social media like, oh, deer season starts September 15th. Well, that's only for urban zones. So make sure that you look at the maps and make sure you know wherever you're going to be hunting is considered an urban zone. And then one of the biggest weekends we have all year is coming up is, beside this, I think this is cool for me because I think this is the biggest weekend besides opening weekend is youth weekend on the 23rd and 24th. I know there's a lot of kids that, their year gets made on that weekend. So I think it's pretty cool to see. And then archery obviously comes in October 1st, statewide. Firearms is November 18th and muzzleloader is December 9th. The firearm season actually falls late again this year on the 18th. It's always the first Saturday after the 11th of November, and it just depends on wherever it falls is where it falls, but it will be the 18th this year. Darren said Moultrie and Browning. I've used them for years. Both of them are good cameras. The cell cameras are an awesome tool for being able to put trail cameras in locations where you typically don't want to go in and out of all the time. You just set them and they're great. As long as they don't eat batteries, you're good. Then again, like I'm one of those type of people that, there's different levels of it. There's people that don't even use cell cameras and they just want to be surprised by whatever deer shows up. And then there's people like me that kind of like, sometimes I'm like, I just want to go pull my cards, bring them back home and see what's on there. Now, I will say that I've been disappointed more times than not, but I think it's kind of cool just to have that feeling of I can't wait to get home to see what my cards have on them. And then now, obviously, with the cell cam stuff, it just goes right to your phone. So, which is a great tool. I'm nothing against it. It's great tool. If like I said, you got those core areas you don't want to go in and out of all the time, or, you're scared of spooking, mature bucks out there or whatever. So, and I will say also too, one thing about the way we're going to do the new show is I just want it to be a place to where we can come talk about hunting, where we can just, there's, no product bashing, because to me, I mean, size does not matter to me. Obviously, we all want to harvest the biggest buck we can harvest, but a lot of times too, there's stories behind a lot of the harvests that we, just like this deer that Dakota harvested last year. I mean, that's just this great story. So there's more to the harvest than just size. I want to get kids involved. I want them to be able to get on here and try to learn something. I know I talked to Jason today, and with the Southern Indian Whitetail Talk, we're going to do a lot of, obviously Jason knows a lot about whitetail hunting. So we're going to do a lot of knowledgeable stuff on there and so forth. So I'm hoping with this new format, new show, the way it's laid out, I'm not going to get really too big into sponsors and trying to promote certain products. And even I'm going to do some more filming for the YouTube channel. So if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you get over to Hoosier Hardwoods Outdoors YouTube. Give it a subscribe, because we are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube also. So it's on both formats. So yeah, we just want to get on here and talk. I'm glad. Thank you everybody that's already commented. That's what's great about these shows is when people comment and they get the ball rolling a little bit, we can just sit here and talk about whatever going on in the outdoors, what you're doing as far as food plots and what doesn't work for you and what works for you. And because the cool part about it is there's always someone on here watching that could either learn from what you're doing and then stuff like that. So tested Van Meterson lures in South Alabama last year with great results. That is awesome. I know he shipped that stuff all over the United States. So, and Jason, with the new website, it's going to be even busier. So I'm excited. I'm glad for him. Excited to see how his year goes. Like I said, I got this Van Meterson, this old number 11. This is like this is a must have in your bag. I was texting Jason last year and I posted on the Facebook page, but I had sprayed this old number 11 around the base of my tree as kind of like a cover-up scent or whatever. And this young 1.5-year-old little bitty basket rack buck comes in, and he beds like 10 yards from the bottom of my tree. Has no clue I'm even there. And it was just I was taking pictures and sending it to Jason. I'm like, look at this. I mean, he laid down with the wind in his face, and that the only thing hitting his face was that old number 11. He was just content as all could be. I have 9 Reveal X cameras, and they are great. But if you haven't seen the Wise Eye camera, check them out. Very good quality. Hey, I seen Chris Cooper, I think's got one of those too, don't he, Corey? And he was talking very, very highly of those new Wise Eye cameras. I'll have to check those out, because I have been reading some articles and stuff on them. So, Corey, if you got any, it doesn't have to be any buck related pictures, but do you have a Wise Eye? If you do, text me over a like a doe picture or something. I just want to see the quality of it. Nick says using Van Meter in Wisconsin, first time seeing good results. So from Wisconsin all the way to South Alabama, stuff's good everywhere. I'm going to have to check out Van. Yes, absolutely, Sam. It's 100% worth it. Okay, Corey, I'll get with Cooper and see if he can maybe send me a doe picture or something, just so I can see the quality of it. There's a lot of products on there too. Like he's got these pre-orbital musk ropes that you hang from the tree, and then you can put I bought the one that's got the old number 11, but I think he's got some that's got some different scents in there. Like Jason, you might ask or help me out here, but there's I think it might be Ridgetop Buck and Rudd or Dominant Buck Tarsal or something. But you just hang these ropes up. There's going to be a lot more educational stuff on this about in the Southern Indiana Whitetail Talk, and I'll post that on our page too. But you just hang these up in a high traffic area, and what these deer do is they'll rub their preorbital gland on there, and man, it's just this is like a deer telephone right here is what this is. You know, we have cell phones. This right here is a deer telephone. These ropes, rub branches, stuff like that. Jason's got a lot of good stuff about that on his Facebook page, so make sure you check those out. Speaking of Chandler, Christopher just tuned in. One sponsor that I do have down here in the bottom corner of the screen is Christopher Taxidermy. Chandler's a good buddy of mine, and he is now into the taxidermy business. So he kind of come on board, kind of help him out a little bit. We actually, Chandler don't know this yet, but we might go over there and do some video sometime and just talk to him about how he got into the taxidermy business and that type of suggestions. So any suggestions for using number 11 when walking into the woods, no matter wind direction? I know a lot of guys spread on their boots. A lot of guys do spread on their boots, drag rag. I have a bottle with me in my pouch, and I just spray it there around the base of the tree or in tree stand or wherever I'm going up. It seems to work really, really well. Or even if you got like one of those little Walmart drip hanger things or whatever, you pull out or whatever, you can even soak that in number 11 and just hang it up in the tree underneath of you. Van Meter's son's dripper combo with Ridgetop Buck and Rut was it disappeared from the tree. I had it hanging or something got it last year. Cellcam never picked it up either. Yeah, those drippers are another great product too, especially like if you're hanging up a rope or you're creating a mock scrape, putting one of them drippers over it, slam dunk. I mean, it just keeps it fresh all the time. But I hate that somebody took it from you. It wasn't me, Keaton, I promise. It wasn't me. I really would have been nice if the cell cam would have picked it up. Corey sent me a couple pictures here I'm going to check out real quick. Let's check these out. Yeah. Corey just sent me a picture of rope. It's amazing, man. Like I said, these ropes, they're like telephones. I mean, once the bucks start rubbing on it, and then they all have to stop by there and check it out. But I will say one thing too that Jason did teach me is a lot of it is about key locations. A lot of people will just put up a dripper. A lot of people will just put up a rub branch and just assume it's going to work. Corey, the picture you just sent me is a great location, kind of like that. It's a one tree island kind of thing where a lot of bucks go check it out anyway, so then they can start rubbing that rope. It's hard to just hang up a rope or a rub branch in the center of a woods and expect every deer around the area to start hitting it. A lot of times you get them started by putting them on like if you know that bucks are traveling like edges because they love to use edges, put it where they're sticking out where they have to walk into it. That's one way to get them started, or like a logging road where you know like a lot of deer are using that logging road. That's a key location too. With this rain coming, look out. Cold front cameras will blow up. Habitat shift will take place during this time for some mature bucks traveling to fall locations. Yeah, it's been crazy because the last week to me, for being September, like the second week of September, the crops have turned major. The cool mornings, cool evenings. I know it's a little bit early. I mean, usually like Jason and I talked about today, but usually this is an end of September thing, and it's just kind of crazy to me that it's already taken place a little bit. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to complain because I love it, but I'm just not much on that 115 degree summer heat anymore. I do want to shout out, this is not really, I have no like affiliation with this company whatsoever. I actually just was scrolling through TikTok one day and found this, but these boot bandoliers that's really on TikTok a lot. I think they're on Facebook and all that stuff, but these little satchel things that they come out with are handy as all get out. It's got multiple pockets. It's got a bottle holder, which is perfect for either a water bottle or a scent bottle. It's got a big pouch back here for all your calls. There's even like, I don't know, there's just these little things here you can hang on, but they're designed to either, if you're sitting in like a lock-on stand or something, you can cinch these belts down and they actually wrap around your boot. So everything's right there handy. You can wrap it around a tree. So way it's right there too. There's just all kinds of configurations. And then it's got this whole front part here. I'll get this a little bit better. You can see it. This whole front part right here is one big pouch. So I've been testing it out in the garage, and I've had all kinds of stuff in this. But my scent bottles fit in there good. Whatever. Releases, extra release. My problem is I don't have enough pockets. So especially in the summertime, or not summertime, but early fall, I'm not bulking up. So I don't have a whole lot of pockets to put stuff in. So this thing right here is one, like I said, I have no affiliation to this company. But I thought it was cool and just want to give them a shout out. It's Twisted Iron Hunting Products, or just go to Google and search boot bandolier. So, Jason, these might be something to check into, sell down there at the shop because they'd be even cool for trapping, carrying supplies. Bill, I'm glad that you're tuned in, bud. I miss talking to you. I know we talked all the time on the other shows and when we were doing this whole deal. So plots are looking amazing here in Ohio, but acorns are unreal this year. Is that a good thing or bad thing for the crying face? I'm assuming it's a bad thing. Yeah, Corey said right in the middle of a food plot. Yeah, that's ideal. That is a perfect location for it. Perfect. So yeah, I don't really know how long these shows will go. I usually, like this last time, we always shot for an hour. Like tonight I'm by myself. So, as long as people keep commenting and carrying on the conversation, we'll go as long as we need to. Right now we're set for Mondays. That could change depending on, I don't know, just depends. I want to get in the groove. I know we're going to do the Southern Indian Whitetail Talk every 2 weeks. So kind of based on that, I do a racing live show on Thursday nights. So if you're into that, check Flag to Flag Media out. I do a racing live show. But yeah, so right now we're scheduled for Monday nights, but we'll see how it goes. What's going on, Dakota? Did your softball game finally get over with? Yeah, what Darren said, Nick, a lot of people use the drag rag or spray a little on the boots. Really helps cover up your scent into your stand location. Yeah. And those if you're interested, if you're just now like tuning in to the Hoosier Hardwoods deal, that type of stuff, if you go to my YouTube channel or you go to I think they're on Van Meter Son Lures YouTube channel too. The Southern Indian and Whitetail Talk episodes are on both of our YouTube channels. Oh, I got you. I don't like a big bumper crop of acorns. They won't hit my plots here until late. They don't have to move much with a bumper crop. I got you. I got you, Bill. Do you have any stand locations on your acorns though to take advantage of it? It's a pretty good question. I mean, because I know how typically here, if we have a bumper crop of acorns, we got one particular stand that we set up just for the acorn crop. I ain't saying it works out every year just because we don't ever know what kind of crop of acorns we're going to get, but we keep our fingers crossed every year. Make sure I didn't miss any comments. What's everybody's prediction? Has everybody been seeing some decent deer numbers? I talked about this to, I don't remember if it was Dakota or somebody the other day, but I've seen quite a few does and fawns this year compared to how I feel like I seen last year. I've seen a lot of does and fawns, so I think that's a good thing. I know a lot of guys that I've talked to are getting quite a few decent bucks on trail camera. Pretty excited about that. Hopefully the deer numbers are up. Also, too, I didn't go over this, but fall turkey seasons. Archery comes in October 1st through the 29th. Second archery season comes in December 9th through January 7th. And the fall turkey season comes in October 18th and goes through the 29th of October. Keaton Durbin says no less than 10 every morning on the way to work. That is awesome. Hopefully that number just keeps going up. Yes, but you have to find the certain ones since they like change week. That is very true, Bill. That is very true. Yes, it is, Darren. That's kind of how we play it too. Like usually we'll put in a small plot, kind of like what Bill's talking about. And then if the if the food plot doesn't go as planned, then we got those stand locations on White Oaks. And the white oak and the acorn stand that we have is probably our closest stand to a water source. So it kind of works out. Did rubbing branch this year. Think I'm going to drag this year. Yeah, dragging's a good idea. How's your rubbing branch working out? Are you getting a lot of activity on it? I think one of the most underestimated things this time of the year too is water source. I think it's one thing that gets overlooked a lot. Bill said the deer herd is definitely up. Lots of twins and seeing a few with triplets here. That's awesome. That is awesome. If you can just see a doe with one fawn is awesome. But when you start seeing with twins and triplets, it's game on. Jay said, I had a major shift take place last 7 days, but still no sign of a number one pick. I do have his shed. Fingers crossed on that. I did see him. You showed me a picture, and he is definitely worth number one on your list. Just starting to respond to mock scrapes, rubbing branches, ropes on the farm. It's about that time. Really going to start seeing a lot of that stuff picking up, Mason, here in the next, especially the next week or two. If the temperature and the weather stays the way that it's forecasted to, like Jason said earlier up here in the thing, I really think that the cameras and stuff are going to start blowing up. Yes, I'm about 100 yards from water. Yeah, water is an overlooked source. A great tool to have. Ryan says my deer numbers are up the last couple of years. That is awesome. That's what we like to see. And then I will say one thing about this show too is I've never really, ever since I started Hoosier Hardwoods in 2018, just the actual brand, I've never wanted to be perceived as the one that knows it all, whatever, because I enjoy learning from other people just as much as hopefully people enjoy learning from me. So there's a lot of, I think we get there's a lot of shows, podcasts, stuff out there now to where it just seems like there's a lot of people that if it's not done their way, then but that's not, everybody's different. Everybody has different hunting philosophies. Everybody has different ways that they hunt, what they're looking for. So yeah, this is just going to be like a campfire. Everybody, all of us hunters get together and just talk about what's going on with our season and that stuff and that type of stuff. I have several crabapple trees on one of my farms, and man, they are hammering them. That's awesome. Especially if you got some natural browse like that. I mean, you can't beat that. Like a natural apple tree or persimmon trees. Those are hard to beat. I got on one particular parcel, 2 hit listers coming in every 3 to 4 to V dripper and vine rub. I know where they bed, and I've noticed them shifting closer to oaks. Well, keep an eye on them, Darren. Darren, I got to ask you too. Did you ever get that camera working? That's bothering me. I got to make that right. It's bugging me. But hopefully those 2 hit listers stay around. I've seen a lot of pawpaws this year. Deer love them if coons don't get them first. Yeah, them coons have tendency to take in things quick. The oaks are close to one of my stands I've had for years in the same location. That's kind of like that go-to spot, ain't it, Darren? I work for NDOT, and we picked up 4 deer off the highway today. This cooler weather has them moving. 4 deer off the highway. That's crazy. Were they all does, Ryan? Or are they any bucks in that mix? I didn't. Darren, I got to get with you to make it right. That type of stuff bugs me. So we will get together, even if I have to drive to your house. I'm coming down there and we're going to do something, get it fixed or money back or something. 4 deer off the highway. Yes, that's true. Next Tuesday night. Bring that camera with you. We'll get her fixed one way or another. Fawns and a small buck. I got you. I think sometimes, too, them fawns just got in the middle of the road and they don't know what to do. They don't know how to act. They'll start running all over the place. What's some kind of content you guys would like for us to see or would like to see? What you want us to bring on the show, that type of stuff. I'm kind of open to any suggestions just because I want a lot of people's input too. I have talked to a couple of people about Skyping in. Derek Craig from New Day Outdoors said he would come on sometime. Derek's really good about if anybody's interested in filming hunts, whether you want to be whether you're an amateur or somebody that's been doing it for a long time. Derek is very, very knowledgeable about that stuff. Derek does a lot of cool stuff on his YouTube channel where he'll set out and he'll just like he comes up with something that he wants to conquer at the beginning of the year, and that's what he sets his mind to. I know turkey season, he's a big blind hunter because he bow hunts, but this year he was determined to harvest a bird, self-filmed, no ground blind with his archery gear. So he didn't end up getting it done, but when he sets his mind to something, he's going to do it. I've talked to a couple of other YouTubers that coming on that want to come on about hunting public ground. I think is a good conversation, what to look for, stuff like that. Dustin Huff, I might try to reach out to him. I don't know, depending on what his schedule and stuff is, but his name has been mentioned, so he might, if we can get him on here, he might come on. How many use their turkey hunting chair for deer hunting? I like it being light and portable on state ground. Beats sitting on the ground and will keep you in the woods longer, being more comfortable. That's one thing. The crazy thing is, the older I get, I hate sitting on the ground. Hate it. So if I have enough, if I can take a turkey chair or something, I'm all for it. I will say the farm where I hunt too, over the years, we've built some big. Well, there's one in the YouTube video I just posted 2 weeks ago or whatever. When I went and put up trail cameras, we make tree stands that are really, really big A lot of times 2 guys can sit up there in them, but they were designed for hunting with our kids, stuff like that. But we can put turkey chairs in those and be comfortable, and that definitely makes it worth it. Yes, for sure, Darren. It's definitely easier on the buttocks, for sure. Because there's nothing worse. Because especially if deer are moving or whatever, there's nothing worse than dealing with a butt hurting or something, So leg cramping up, or obviously you try to move as minimal as possible. Everybody used to give me a hard time about my Little Debbie wrappers. I know those make a lot of noise, but you gotta have snacks. There's 2 things that are really, really bad, and that's being uncomfortable and a belly growling. Because if you think about it, why do people leave the woods the most? It's either because they're tired and uncomfortable, or they're hungry. It's a true story. True story. Yes, it can, Darren. It can run around real quick. Real quick. I think next episode, I know Dakota's probably going to try to come on, so that's true too, Keaton. When it hits you, you got to go. Amos said, I hate running out of coffee. Yeah, I'm not a big coffee drinker, but for some reason, years ago, when I was a lot younger, my grandpa used to take me squirrel hunting. I would drink his coffee. Not a coffee fan at all, but for some reason, sitting there with grandpa underneath of a acorn tree watching for squirrels, and I drink a little bit of coffee. I put my snacks in a Ziploc bag. That's what a couple times when we first started filming hunts, you don't realize how much opening up a snack sounds until you get it on film. And it's just like, it's magnified so bad. Deer hear a Little Debbie wrapper over 2 counties over. For anybody that's just might be tuning in, just go over to get one more time. But the giveaway for the decal was Chris Nice with a guess of 152 3/8, and the deer grossed 152 5/8. So he was close, very, very close. For anybody thank you to everybody that commented today too about the comment that was going around on the post for this buck. That was obviously not me. That was a link from somewhere. I have no idea, but I got everything changed over. So hopefully we're good now. I tried to go back through and I tried to delete all of them. So hopefully those comments aren't on there now. I will say this, that I will never send out a link, like an award or you want a prize link on the Facebook page, unless I put in the post that, hey, this is Matt and this is what I'm doing. I just don't want anybody to get, their account get taken over. Been there, done that, and I don't ever want to go through that again. All right. Does anybody else have anything for tonight? I know it's kind of, we've been going 40 minutes. Probably won't really hit that hour. I just want to get it out there. Thanks everybody for continuing to follow along. Like I said, I hope we get this going again. I know it's been something that's kind of been missed by a lot of people. I've also missed it myself. The hunting team kind of went a different way. A lot of the guys went their own direction and so forth, which is fine. I mean, it is what it is. And I mean, the last thing everybody ever wants to do out of a hunting thing is to get people mad and lose friendships over it, because it's just hunting. But yeah, I want to keep this thing rolling. A lot of it's going to be for fun. I'm going to put stuff on YouTube occasionally, just some video stuff that I'm doing. I'm not saying that, Dakota or Peyton or Derek or somebody might not be in the videos, just having a good time, because I really, truly feel like being in the outdoors, that's what it's supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about, spending time with your buddies, your family members, and that's the whole meaning behind hunting. So, just said I've had several stands up and ready, but plan to keep yeah, there you go. A lot of guys too. I mean, this whole saddle hunting thing is taken over just because of that. The mobility of it, being able to hunt anywhere at any time. I've thought about getting into it, but I'm a hefty boy, and there's just something about hanging off the side of a tree. I know all my buddies are like, oh, it's a lot safer than, but just hanging off the side of the tree by a rope, I can't talk myself into it yet. James Lucas, when's the next show? The next show will be next Monday night at 8:00. If something changes, I'll definitely make sure that I'll let everybody know. I'll put a post up, but the next show will be next Monday night at 8:00. Van Meter and St. Louis, it's time to be ready. It is. Jason and I, you talk about this all the time, but for most deer hunters that are like ate up with it, so to speak, you think about 365 days a year, but it really, really hits hard, that last week of August, first week of September, when you really start noticing crops changing, just the weather. Sometimes you get weather patterns like we're going through right now. It'll cool off real quick. I mean, when you go from heat indexes of like 108, 110 to 2 weeks later, and then you're waking up and it's 60 degrees out. Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, it really, really gets you moving. I like my aluminum Summit Viper. Absolutely. They are good stands. Summit's always made a good product. Pro staff man Bumpy, got to get him back on here. Who's pro staff man Bumpy? Oh, might slip my mind. But yeah, it's that time of the year. And do not, this is the other thing too. It was Van Meter Sun lures or getting your licenses or whatever. Don't wait till the last minute. Do not wait till the last minute. Get your stuff and get her done now. That way you're ready to rock and roll and you don't have to wait on nothing. It is. That's very true, Darren. October 22nd through the 18th. It's just like a magical time of the year. I don't know what it is about Halloween too, but it's in that time frame. But Halloween is just, I don't know. For a deer hunter, Halloween will take you over. Oh, I got you. Okay, Derek. Yeah, he needs to get on here. He is going. I'm not even gonna give him a choice this year or this time. He's coming back on. He is a Hoosier Hardwoods Outdoors pro staffer for life. He don't know it, but he is a pro staffer for life. He don't have a choice. He's the one that I always bounce my ideas off of, whether they're crazy or not. He'll either look at me and shake his head or say it's a good idea. So, all right. Well, I appreciate everybody watching tonight. If you can, if you don't care to, make sure you share this out. Make sure that you go and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm going to get it up and rolling again. Like I said, these lives will be streamed live on Facebook and YouTube, both platforms. Kind of branch out there a little bit. I'm going to be posting a lot of content on the YouTube channel. Here in the next couple of weeks, we'll get into the YouTube content and what we're looking for and how we're going to do our videos and that type of stuff, just to get people's opinions. We're going to have more deer heads in here, talk about antlers, some product stuff that we're using that we're not even affiliated with. We're just going to have a good time on here. So, thank you all. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Darren. Early fall this year, farmers are already shelling corn, leaves are already dropping. Warren, you're exactly right. I was actually headed out of Bologna the other day and coming down 135, coming home, and I look over and farmers are already shelling corn, and I'm like, what in the world? So besides the temperature drops, the farmers already in the field shelling crops, I'm just like, I'm just driving down the road going like this, it's that time. So, Anyway, thanks everybody. Share this out. Like, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give this page a follow, or give the Facebook page a follow. And yeah, appreciate it. And we will see you all next Tuesday night at 8:00. Or next Monday night at 8:00. Be on the lookout for the post, and I'll get it published. So we will see you all later.